Watch and learn.
Hey everyone. So tonight I want to discuss John Waters', I believe it is his 2000 film, Cecil B. Demented, starring Stephen Dorff and Melanie Griffith. A really young Maggie Gyllenhaal's in this. A really young Michael Shannon is in this. And what this tells the story of is Melanie Griffith is sort of this fading superstar in Hollywood, and Stephen Dorff and his crew of rebel filmmakers who are obsessed with independent filmmakers like David Lynch or Spike Lee. And each one of his people, who he refers to, I believe, as sprocket heads, I think, if memory serves, they're into one independent filmmaker. Like, you know, so-and-so's into Spike Lee, so-and-so's into David Lynch, and then Cronenberg and whoever else. And so they decide to kidnap Melanie Griffith. Now, this was John Waters sort of loosely tying in the kidnapping of Patty Hearst by the, whatchamacallit, the SLA, the Symbionese Liberation Army. They didn't really liberate much. I know they killed a couple people, they robbed a handful of banks, and Patty Hearst was actually seen to be part of them, that she had sort of, what was it, that Stockholm Syndrome, I suppose, and she became a willing participant in the Liberation Army's antics, and I shouldn't say antics, they killed people, and she ended up, she was sentenced to like 30 years or something, and then it was knocked down to 7, and then I can't remember whatever president who was sitting at that point, he pardoned her completely because she was wealthy, of course. So this is sort of John Waters' more dark comical take on the whole Patty Hearst madness that happened back in like 1974, 1975. This movie's amazing. This movie is pure chaos. This is Stephen Dorff and company running from set to set of each film that the Hollywood machine has set up to wreck. Like Kevin Nealon is starring in Forrest Gump 2. It's like called Gumper or Get Gumper or something. So naturally they have to sabotage this shoot because Forrest Gump was a really sensitive and emotionally involved film that they are not going to allow Hollywood to destroy by making some sort of soulless sequel. So they show up to disrupt that. And I mean, there's this, okay, that fucking mosquito went like right in my ear. Anyways, yeah, and there's this one scene where they end up in like a porno theater because one of the Sprockets used to be this adult film star, and she has all of the men in there protect her against the family feature people, because the family featured people in the same theater or the theater across the street were chasing Stephen Dorff and his rebellion filmmakers because they don't like the types of movies they support. And so it's the porn people versus the family feature people. And it's just, this movie is just John Waters just allowed to just operate completely free and completely unhinged. This movie is really entertaining. It's really bright. It's really fun. There's a lot of energy. This movie is crazy. And they are demented forever. They say that every so often and they like yell it to the heavens. And there's no sex. You're not allowed to have sex while they're working on this big feature that they need to get Melanie Griffith for. So everybody wants to fuck, but they can't. And then The Locust is on the fucking soundtrack. Jesus Christ, when they kicked in, I was like, okay, this movie was amazing. And then when the fucking Locust are on the soundtrack and they're featured in the film, that's amazing. So, yeah, look, I should probably stop talking because I am kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I'm in the dark now, unfortunately. Like, you can't really see how in the dark I am, but that's where I am right now. You know? There's nothing, like, anywhere. So, I should probably go, because I do have to hike it back, and that's always not fun. So, yeah. So, like always, thank you so much for hanging out with me for 4.5 minutes while I discuss John Waters' absolutely fucking killer 2000 film, I think, at least, Cecil B. Demented. Like always, if you like this review or you love this movie, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But please don't forget that the world is actually a better place because you are in it. And whatever you're going through, don't give up, because it will get better. Have a good night.